speaking of the microphone, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Unity of Dallas. I'm Anne Sadovsky, and I'm your platform assistant today. Welcome to all of you who are watching from your homes and hotel rooms and sailboats and airplanes, wherever you're watching us from. We're excited that you're with us today. So, as we always do, have to stop and take a deep breath because it's busy around here on Sunday mornings, isn't it? So we're so glad to see you, and I'm going to ask you to join us in our opening prayer together. There's only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God, the good, omnipotent. And so it is.
Everybody, stand up. You know this song, we've been singing it all month. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today.
Amen.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Deb Stovall, and I'm your chaplain today. And what a beautiful, beautiful day, right? To be alive. I want to invite you to stop by the chapel. If you would like one-on-one prayer, there are chaplains in the chapel that will pray with you. And I want you to know that we have 2 prayer chests, actually 3 with this one. And we have one in the chapel and one by the front door that you can write a prayer, put it in the prayer chest. One of the chaplains will pick it up, pray over it for a week, and then send it on to Silent Unity, where it's prayed over for 30 days. So if you want to get some action in your prayer life, drop off your prayer. Doesn't cost a thing. Let's say our daily word together. Joy. God's joy blesses each day of my life. And so it is. Let us pray. As we take a deep breath together, we know that breath is the breath of God. We know that God breathes through us. And we know that that breath is our life force. And we are grateful. We are grateful for this knowingness. We feel the presence of God within us and around us. And we know God within us is the Christ within. And we feel gratitude at this very moment. Gratitude for someone or something. And we know that this is our Christ within. Feeling this gratitude. We send out a light to those that are healing, to those that are ill, to those that are involved in wars. We send out a light to all of those that suffer lifting them up at this moment. Our light goes out from our center, from our heart. And it moves all over the earth. We see that light as it brightens people's lives, as it touches their souls. And we know our light is their light. And our light makes a difference. And we feel that now. And we are grateful for this ability to send our light out. We are grateful for the light within us. And we say, thank you, Spirit, in the name and power of Jesus the Christ. Amen.
Sing them over again to me, wonderful words of life. Let me more of their beauty see, wonderful words of life. Let me life and beauty, teach me faith and beauty, beautiful words, glorious words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, glorious words, wonderful words of life. Words of promise for everyone, wonderful words of life. Bringing comfort and peace of mind, wonderful words of life. Promises to cheer me, words I treasure dearly. Beautiful words, glorious words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, glorious words, wonderful words of life. Words of wisdom enrich my soul, wonderful words of life. Ever strengthen and make me whole, wonderful words of life. Gems of wisdom thrilling, thirst for truth fulfilling. Beautiful words, glorious words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, glorious words, wonderful words of life.
Don't even go to a movie show if you are not by my side. I just stay home by the radio, but I am satisfied. All my flirting days are gone, on the level from now on. I'm keeping out of business now. Really am in love, and how? I'm through playing with fire. It's you whom I desire. All the world can plainly see. You're the only one for me. I have told them in advance they can't break up our romance, living up to all my vows, 'cause I'm keeping out of mischief now. Don't go for any excitement now. Books are my best company. All my opinions have changed somehow, old-fashioned as can be. When you truly the world can plainly see. You're the only one for me. I have told them in advance they can't break up our romance. Living up to all my vows, 'cause I'm keeping out of mischief now. I'm keeping out of mischief right now.
Thank you, Amy. Yeah, that was lovely. Okay, we have two very special guests today. The title of their talk is Awaken to Oneness. And it's kind of cool because these two individuals who call themselves twin flames actually met here in 1996. Yeah. They had attended something. They did not know each other, but apparently, since that meeting, they're pretty inseparable.
Pretty much.
So, anyway, I would love to introduce you to Rusty Barrier and Tricia Seymour.
So now we go find our mark.
Yes, we met here. So, did you want to tell them the story?
Well, I guess I could. Anyway, it was May 4th, 1996, and there was a lady...
A long, long time ago.
in a galaxy far... No.
That's a different one.
Anyway, Ruth Montgomery was speaking here that night, and I knew who Ruth was because I had read her book, Strangers Among Us, when I was in my early 20s. So I heard, come to this tonight, be with your friends. And so I did, I listened. You'll notice about Tricia and I, we tend to listen to guidance. She, on the other hand, had no idea who Ruth was, and...
I was in a place, and many of you have been there, I'm sure, where you just literally here to do something. It's a feeling sometimes it's actual words. For me, it was actual words, and I would get in my car and I'd be told, take a left, take a right, go in this building, you're gonna meet someone. And I was doing this and having fun and meeting new people, and it was a wonderful experience. And I did get a flyer about Ruth Montgomery. I didn't know who she was, but I heard very loud and clear I needed to come here. I was gonna meet someone. Now, back in the day, I was late everywhere. So if you were here back then, Ruth Montgomery filled this place with standing room only, and I was late. So I'm up in the balcony, I found one little seat, and I sat down. She did her talk, did a great job, and at the end, I kept hearing, I'm gonna meet someone, and I'm sitting here going, okay, so show me who I'm gonna meet. You know, it's full. Who am I gonna meet?
And the building's emptying out at that point.
And it is. So I come out of the balcony and I stand back there at the back door, literally right over there. And people are going by and I keep asking my guidance inside, okay, is that the person? Is that the person? Is that the person? No, 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 no. And I'm like, well then why am I here? Right?
We never argue with spirit, right?
And so what happened?
So now what's happening is there are literally 5 people left in this auditorium. All right, myself, a client of mine who's talking to me about the breath work that I was doing back then and still do today. Alexis Rice, Cheyenne, whose last name I don't remember, but she's who brought Ruth in, and Carol McClendon and Alexis Rice. All right. I'm walking back, talking to my client. My client sees Tricia and goes, have you ever done breath work? And Tricia goes, well, no, but have you ever done it with anyone other than him? And the client goes, no. And she says, well, you need to understand at least 85% of what you get out of that session is his energy. Well, now, my ego likes this answer from someone I've never met, and she was cute too, so we're good to go at this point.
So we start talking. I realize he's who I'm supposed to meet. So we start talking and we go out into the lobby and we find out we have a lot in common. Matter of fact, we literally know all the same people. We were both psychotherapists, which she didn't mention, I don't think.
No.
We're both PhD psychotherapists, and so we had worked with the same specialized population. We had done all these same things. And I'm thinking, who gave you my life script? I mean, it was like almost identical. And 3 years prior, one of the therapists in the community had told him he should meet me because of the specialty that we had. I know I have this book in my hand. I should probably give that to you. And so what took place was, at that point, we were both not in practice. We had moved on to doing corporate training. And so as corporate trainers, I had put a bid on a job, and I had talked with the lady who had the bid, and she said there were only 2 people. It had come down to 2 people on this bid, and I was one of 2, and she let me know on Monday. Please remember, this is now a weekend. So we start talking, and
I let her know that I had just gotten my first corporate contract.
and that there were only 2 people at the end. You see where this is going, right? So I figure Spirit wanted me to know I lost the contract and he won it. But I'm a little
Slow?
mischievous.
Oh, mischievous, there we go.
A little devious, that's probably a better word. I'm a little devious. So he tells me this, and I don't tell him I'm the other person on the contract. I look at him and I go, wow, that's interesting. What did you bid on that contract? How did you get that contract? How did you know what to bid? What did you do? What are you doing? I'm trying to find out why I lost, right?
You know, and I'm transparent and enthralled. And so I look at her and go, well, you know, the CEO's wife is a client of mine, and she kind of told me what to bid.
Exactly, right. Exactly. So I'm like very nice, and we exchange numbers. We're like, yeah, we'll go out for drinks or something later, no problem. I get in my car, and I'm yelling at God the entire way home. How dare you? I need that money. What are you doing giving that away? Ah! You know, having a little fit, and I swear I'm never going to call him because he stole my contract, right?
Then she realized, wait a minute, if I date him, I get the money anyway. And while she was having a fit at God, I actually called my mother and said, I just met the woman I'm going to spend the rest of my life with.
It took me about 6 months till I got there.
3 days.
So anyway, this place holds a special bond for us and a special place in our heart because of the fact that this is where we met
7.5 decades, years, millennia, whatever it is.
This talk is not about twin flames, although we'll be doing a talk on twin flames another day. But we just realized through a number of then experiences that the 2 of us were meant to be together, and that we had been literally given the same life script.
Yes.
We literally were the same person in 2 bodies. It was weird. Because as a therapist, you know...
Still is, by the way.
You work through all that. You don't need anybody. It's just very odd to be in that place.
Right.
But before we met, which was a pivotal thing as far as I'm concerned, we both had a separate experience of oneness. And what is oneness?
Oneness. Oneness is that point that will occur to each of us, perhaps multiple times, where we simply merge with all that is. For me, the first time that happened, I was very young. I was probably 6 or 7, and just completely went back into a state of non-being while happily spinning in my grandparents' side yard, you know, spinning. And from then on, it's an ongoing connection that you never again forget that you, God, and everything else are absolutely united. No separation, no space even for a breath between the 2. And as Amy sang, it's true. When you make that connection, because that was a love song that she sang, and we think it might have been from a man to a woman or a woman to a man, but the reality is, much like Rumi, that song was about the relationship between us and source. That is oneness. That ultimate heart connection with all that is at any moment and every moment. You go for yours.
All right. So before I met Rusty, I had studied with a Hindu guru for quite a while and had been meditating and praying and doing malas and bhakti yoga and all kinds of stuff. I'd been to silent retreats with Buddhist monks and nuns and had traveled quite a bit around the world. And one day, I just knew something weird was going to happen. And so I called a friend of mine and I said, come to my house. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to go away. So he came and he sat with me on the floor.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't him. It was Lotus' position on the floor. And I said, I have no idea what's going to happen, but you're here as my anchor to make sure I come back. Now you're going to make me cry.
I'm not making anything happen.
So I literally closed my eyes and went into a meditative state. And I went down a path, and I saw a cave, and I was very afraid to go in the cave. I was afraid I would get lost. But I went in the cave, and I went down, and as I entered the cave, lights started to shine. And one of the things that happened was I saw a theater, much like this, theater seating, just like this, and a stage. And in front of it were curtains. And the closer I got, the thinner the curtains became. And I started to feel just drawn to go to this stage. And I got up here like this on the stage, and all of a sudden, all around me were all the masters from every path. All the ascended masters, gods and goddesses, all around me. They had me go to my knees. They touched my third eye and my crown. Whew. And they said, separation is an illusion. We are one. You are one of us, as is everyone. We are all connected. Don't get lost in the illusion. Wow. My heart was open. I was sobbing. And I'm just amazed that these beings that I've worshiped all this time are telling me that we are the same, that we're one. There is no difference. I was in awe. At that moment, they had me stand up and they led me out back to the back to this beautiful place of what we would call heaven. I grew up in the Methodist church with a very, very religious family. And my mother was determined to get lots of crowns, jewels in her crown. So I learned about heaven from a very young age and what that was. And so I walked into this very palatial room, huge chandeliers, gorgeous space. And I was told, you can stay here if you'd like. Or there's more. And I said, of course I want more. Who doesn't, right? And so they led me out a back door, and out the back door was a beautiful field. And it was just rolling hills. But in the rolling hills, there were shapes. And each shape looked like a soul. They were beautiful and glowing, but they were all separate. And I looked at the beings that were guiding me, and I said, well, wait a minute. You just told me we're all one. There is no separation. Then why here in this beautiful, loving place is all these beings are separate? And I heard laughter. And what happened next was that all those gorgeous glowing lights merged together into one huge ball. And I just was in awe. And all that I felt was love, just total acceptance. Mm-hmm. I was guided to step into the light. As I stepped into the light, I was no more. Mm-hmm. I had no mind, I had no cells, I had no body, I had no ego, I had no desires or wills. I was not. I did not exist. All I knew was this place was home, and I wanted to stay. I have no idea how much time passed, but I was told I couldn't stay, which of course I had a little fit about, right? My ego went, no, I want to stay. I was told that I needed to come back, that I wasn't done here in the physical plane, on 3D, whatever you want to call it, and I needed to return. So I begrudgingly did. I also was told I could go back anytime I wanted. and I do regularly. But that connection with everything, that connection with the all that is, the part that tells you in the cells of your being, you are not this separate illusion. This is a game. That's an avatar. That's not who you really are. You're just playing the game. And I got it on such a deep level that it has affected every aspect of my life. And that happened before we met.
Not long.
And then you had a similar experience.
I had probably one of the ones that stands out the most for me. I was probably 29, 30 years old, and I was in Missouri and was driving through a wildlife preserve. And folks, trust me, nature sends me to oneness like that every time. But I had been walking a boardwalk first, and my ego was complaining about, I'm in this beautiful space of nature, and I've got all these people arguing with each other all around the place. It's like, oh, humans. And so now I'm back in my car, and I'm driving, and the windows are down. It's a beautiful day, and all of a sudden it dawns on me that my foot's no longer on the gas. My car is just slowly coming to a stop. And I'm looking out across a beautiful meadow, and all of a sudden, I'm no longer looking at the meadow. The wind is blowing through me. The trees are within me. The birds are singing within me. And then there's no me. And folks, this is truly oneness. When we hit oneness, there's no more us. There's no more individuated being. There is only source experiencing life. That's what oneness is. I have no idea how long I was there. It may have been 5 seconds. It doesn't matter. All right, it may have been 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. The moment you connect with Source, however you connect with Source, reminds you who you are. This life is not about wealth. This life is not about success. This life is about remembering who you are. It's a game set up with breadcrumbs and Easter eggs to take you home. I know a lot of this audience is very familiar with A Course in Miracles. All right, so we're all just walking each other home. When we remember that, when I look out at your face, or your face, or your face, and I see not an individual, I see not a person, but I see God, our Goddess, in front of me, then I remember oneness. This is oneness.
And so these are amazing experiences. The Hindus call it samadhi. The Buddhists might call it nirvana. Yet we come back here, and we're still here, and we still have relationships, and we still have to pay bills, and we still have to go to work or have a business. And so how do you do that? How do you, knowing all that we know, how do you step back in and live here now? We call that ascension. So everybody's always wanting, I want to ascend, I want to get out of here. I remember going to an event, again, here at Unity, with a guest speaker, and one of the ladies asked, when are those people going to be gone? Right?
I think we all wouldn't know who those were.
We're all like, what? But everybody wants to leave. They want to go someplace. And what actually we both realized is that the key to getting where we were, what we just described, is being more present here now.
You cannot ascend if you are not grounded. If you have nothing beneath you on which to push off, you cannot ascend. You have to be here. Ascension is a word I came up with because I got we're talking the 90s here, folks, and I was tired of it then, and I'm still tired of it. I got so tired of everyone going, it's ascension time. Great, what does that mean? You haven't been here in your own body long enough, and I don't care how old your body is, folks. You haven't been in it long enough most times to actually, truly say, oh, this is where God is. This is where Goddess is. This is where I stand. Please take the time. Come fully into your body. Deal with all the crap that the bodies give you. All right? Whether it's trauma from childhood or whether it's just joy from childhood, whatever it may be, whether it's dealing with politics, whether it's dealing with whatever, deal with it. Face it. You are source within a body. Be source, and at that moment you will no longer care whether you ascend or do not ascend, because you will be whole. And that's the message.
And there are a few other amazing beings that I know you know who they are. One is Ram Dass. You know that he's been there, and he taught good, solid psychology about work on yourself, but don't take it so seriously, right? Have some joy in your life. Look at your shadow. Don't just wish it away. Embrace all of who you are, the light and the dark, the yin and the yang. There's also, of course, more recently, Eckhart Tolle, which many of you have read many of his books, who also gets it. He understands that this journey is about being completely present, accepting, being in the flow and accepting, and then learning how to release and let go and not identify with the pain body, right?
What she just said is very important. Identify. What are you creating as your identity, and is it really serving you? Right? Because your identity, if it is anything other than source, is leading you back into duality. Do I identify as a parent, as a child? Do I identify as a husband? Do I identify as a therapist? What are my identities? Look at them. Decide if it's really something that's beneficial to you. And folks, lose your identities once in a while. I don't mean have them stolen. That's a whole different experience. But just lose them. Let them go. Richard Bach, in his book Illusions, actually made the statement, try being an imaginary being, and I'm paraphrasing here, because you will find that imaginary beings are often more real than blood and flesh ones. So lose your identities. Don't look at them, examine them. Perhaps that identity that you've held for so long is what's keeping you from remembering who you are.
And another important thing is to surrender to the flow of life. I remember Rusty told me I needed to surrender, and of course I'm a control freak, and I'm like, I'm not surrendering, that's terrible, I shouldn't have to do that.
I still have a headache from that frying pan.
No! You know, when we fight, right, that means that's probably what we need to do. So we've learned to surrender. Now, it doesn't mean we don't argue, as we were joking. We just opened a 6,000 square foot event center called Entelechia. Another word, Rusty likes weird words.
Which, by the way, is an actual Greek word, and it means the divine essence within. And that's what our center is dedicated to, is helping each and every one who comes through there access that inner divinity and bring it forth to full blossom in their life.
So we have lots of classes and events and practitioners and wonderful stuff just up the street in Richardson. But I will tell you, we argued. We argued with Spirit. Spirit's like, it's time. We're like, no, it's not time.
I'm
it's
happy
time.
being retired.
No, it's not time. And then we were like, we live up in Allen, Plano area. So we're like, how about up here by us? And Spirit's like, no, Richardson sounds right. I'm like, I don't want to drive to Richardson. So you have these conversations, right, in your head with your guides and Spirit. And so here I am, little nobody, arguing and saying no. Well, guess what? We're in Richardson, in a beautiful place, and it has been amazing. And many of you have come. Many of you are here from there. Thank you for your support. And we have just grown amazingly fast in 1 year. And that's when you know you're in the right place, doing the right thing.
Okay.
It flows.
To take a business, we both have built multiple businesses. We're serial entrepreneurs, among other things. But to take a business from ground zero, opening your doors, and to 1 year not only be breaking even, but actually be making money, even though it's a nonprofit, making money means we just can expand a little bit, is absolutely amazing. We did not do this. It was about the flow, about listening to what classes to bring, what people to bring in, all of that. So this is flow.
And so look at your life. If you're struggling, if you're fighting, if you're arguing, release. Release, surrender. Allow the flow to happen. Be in the moment. The more and more you can do that every single day in all aspects of your life, whether it's your job, your relationship, or whatever, or traffic in Dallas, right? You can't just flow. Things just go so much easier, and you will find that center that you're looking for and that peace when you're not always fighting.
You know, back in the days when I got the Daily Word, I cannot count how many times the word of the day or the thought of the day was, let go and let God. In other words, surrender to the flow of your life.
So we're going to do a meditation here for just a few minutes, and we're going to do a meditation on oneness and connecting with all that is. But I want to read you a quote. This is our book. It will be for sale out there. That's the sales pitch.
We always forget to do that.
I do. But I want to read you a quote by Rumi. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there is a field. I will meet you there. When the souls lie down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase, each other, doesn't make sense. Go out beyond the idea of right and wrong. I'll meet you there. Oneness. Oneness. Not duality, not you and me, not good and bad, not right and wrong. Oneness.
Oneness. Sure.
Go for it.
All right. Okay. Y'all look like you're sitting down already. All right. Close your eyes. Get comfortable. Take a deep, deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale through your mouth, feel all the stress and tension of your life drifting away. And as you breathe in again, and as you breathe out, just relax and let go.
In your mind, repeat this phrase. I am you. You are me. We are one. I am God. God is you. We are one. Separation is illusion. All is one.
And in this space of oneness, begin to pay attention to what's around you. What are the smells, the sounds in this place? What are the emotions that wash through you? And breathe and relax and know that you are safe.
And in your mind, repeat this phrase. I am you. You are me. We are one. I am God. God is you. We are one. Separation is illusion. All is one.
And now begin to pay attention to the trees and the birds, the grass, all the animals around you. Begin to feel yourself merging with all that you see until you see nothing but light. You feel nothing but love. Take a deep breath. Breathe. Breathe in unconditional love. Breathe in the peace that passes understanding. Breathe in this space. Feel this within you now.
I am you. You are me. We are one. I am God. God is you. We are one. Separation is illusion. All is one.
And as you breathe once again, see yourself drifting above the planet on which we live, out into the cosmos. Feel the unity of all. And now become aware that even this is moving with inside your consciousness, and all is one.
So feel this beautiful feeling. Allow it to permeate your cells. And now drifting back here, back to the building, back to your chair, back to your body. And now together out loud, let's say, I am you. You are me. We are one. I am God. God is you. We are one. Separation is illusion. All is one.
And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes and come fully back to this place. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wow. What an experience. So I just have to comment on their height, because I'm very short. And I figured out how they found each other over everybody else's. So how lovely that you two have put this together and that you shared it with us today. What a blessing. So let's say one more time, thank you, thank you, thank you. I have to comment how I noticed that you have such a soft and tender heart that you get teary while you're speaking. You know what that means? That's his soul talking. That's his soul talking. So we thank you both again. It was lovely. So in case you are here for the first time, you don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to stand up. You don't have to say the Pledge of Allegiance. We're not going to embarrass you. We do hope that you stopped by the welcome desk and filled out a guest card. And if you did not, I will be at the next desk, which you can't come in the sanctuary without walking past it unless you came in the back door. Great big red letters next. And so you can fill one out there. What that means is that we will happily put you on the Thursday e-news so that every Thursday afternoon you'll find out what's coming up at Unity. It gives us an opportunity to gift you, because we have in our book nook, our bookstore, you get a discount when it's there with part of your guest card. So all kinds of good things coming. So please stop by there, and let me think if there's anything else before Amy just rocks our socks off. Please welcome Amy.
The night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only sight we see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountain should crumble into the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Give it up for the band. Darling, darling, stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever I'm in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Thank you.
Amy Stevenson, thank you, Amy. Well, I very subtly forgot to mention, it is time for us to talk about giving and supporting Unity of Dallas and all the works that we do. And I'm looking out here and I'm seeing somebody waving her check over here. So because I'm one of the few people left in the world that writes checks, and there's Libby joining me. So just there are many, many ways that you can support Unity of Dallas and the works that we do. There's a collection type box on a wooden stand right outside the door. You can drop in there as you go by. You can use GIFT, G-I-V-T, and it's some way you hold the phone over the symbol. That's about the limit of my technology education, okay. You can give on the website, so just based on your location, you can mail, whatever works best for you. But we thank you that from the bottom of my heart and to the bottom of your hearts for supporting this absolutely amazing place to come and worship and learn as we did from you today. So thank you. And with all of that, we're going to sing. Oh, pause. I went off and left my notes at home. So if you'll just hold that pose, don't anybody move. As you can tell, we have a lot of fun here at Unity of Dallas. Please join us today for coffee and conversation in the fellowship hall. And Faye Kelly is here doing a special session on past life regression today from 1 to 3 in Myrtle Hall. And I think Randy found some cushioning and things you can lay down on, whatever. I'd go, but if I lay down, I can't get back up. So, a love offering of $40 is suggested, and Faye is a certified master hypnotist. I did a past life rejection. Well, I did not learn that word in today's lesson. Okay. I did it years ago, and it was fascinating, and it was a real experience, so I definitely encourage you to do that. Divine Sisters meet next Saturday, 10:30 to 1 in Fellowship Hall. The speaker is Carol Taylor, and she is presenting the chakras and essential oils. And as always, the Divine Sisters have a visit from Myrtle Fillmore, one of our co-founders in Unity, and prayer circles and potluck and bring a dish for several to share. Sorry, Bob, would you start all over? Thank you.
That was meant to be. If God creates love, and we all agree, let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment, peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And as we leave this beautiful place, we take with us the message today. We are all one. God is, we are, and so it is. And let the church say together, Amen.